man-in-a-box Japanese animation, looking at a screen, you're actually seeing the character you're portraying, you're seeing the emotion, you're seeing the posture, you're seeing everything else, which helps you with your interpretation, I would imagine.
Very much so.
Voice for a game. I mean, you've done things like Medal of Honor, you've done some Final Fantasy work, you've done X-Men Origins, you've done World of Warcraft. I mean, you've done some icon game. You've contributed to some of those games. How is that different? Because I would assume that your voices are basically being taken and then being incorporated into animation in another location. Are you seeing anything when you do that?
It depends. Sometimes you don't see any artwork. You have no idea what your character looks like. In a lot of cases, you come into the booth with very little knowledge about the project, and they tell you, all right, your guy is 28 years old, he's a harsh, rugged military type, his parents died when he was 6, and there's an alien attacking the planet, go. And you're like, and it's all, and you have to cold read for 4 hours in a booth. And that's a little harrowing, but nevertheless, that's part of what the job calls for. But in some other better cases, they give you artwork and they give you more feedback, and for a few days ahead of time, they might send you the script or some character background you can actually study and research a little. And for me, it's always better to see the artwork for the character, because then it gives you an essence of what they look like, what the personality might be, what voice fits that visual better. And as just an animation and video game nerd myself, I just want to see what my character looks like.
So you talk a little bit about the more high-end animation, the U.S. animation, of being in collaborative work. Well, you're kind of working on a pretty high-end project right now because we're in the middle of the, I wouldn't say resurrection, the reimagining of an iconic 1980s animation series, The Thundercats, and you're playing one of the central characters, Tigra. Mm-hmm. I have to ask you, how'd you get that gig?
I don't know what guardian angel was looking above me that day. I grew up watching Thundercats obsessively. Like I had all the action figures as a kid. I had my little plastic sort of omens that made the ching noises when you swung it around. I loved that show growing up, and I had T-shirts with the Thundercats logo, and it was just it's something that I grew up with and appreciated. And so when the auditions came through, I was like, I have to get this. I have to get this. And I walked into the booth that day after practicing extensively on the sides, and told the booth director at my agency, like, I'm going to book this. You're going to help me book this. And like all auditions, it's better to just forget about it once you audition, because if you don't get it, you've forgotten about it. If you do book it, then it's a nice surprise. But that was the one audition that like I held on to, for the next month or so, 'cause it takes about a month before you hear back.
Well, there's a lot. How many voices normally how many auditions do they normally take for? Were you auditioning for a specific character, or you were auditioning as a voice to be assigned to a character?
Specific characters usually audition for.
So you were auditioning for Tigra?
For Tigra and for Lionel. I auditioned for both. Dude.
Oh, man.
Oh, it was. My inner 8-year-old was freaking out during that whole process. But then, I didn't know what my chances were, as is with any project, but I figured I'd just do my best, put it out in the universe. And I got the call about a month and a half later from my agent, who's like, so we got a new nickname for you around the office. And I was like, really? Uh-oh. What did I do? It's like, it's Tigra. And of course I did my little dance and run around the apartment, just like, oh my God, freaking out. And it was amazing. And since then, it's just been an absolute trip, an absolute ride.
Now, you've already recorded a number of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
What was that experience like? I mean, did you actually work? I know that reading on the web that Larry Kinney, who originally voiced Tigra in the original series, is now voicing for a couple of episodes the role of Lionel's father.
Yes.
I mean, he voiced Lionel. I beg your pardon. Yeah, did you said you worked in groups? Did you actually work in the same room with him, or was he? I know he's New York based, so I just asked.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to work with him directly because he was in New York. So they recorded him via web, Skype. They patched him in, so that's what they call it. So he was recorded remotely. Sadly, because I would love to, and hopefully at some point in the near future, when they do more press stuff, I'll get a chance to meet him because I grew up with him. And his daughter, I'm a big fan of as well. She's an actress.
Her work is marvelous. I mean, the work that she did earlier when she did that pastiche of the Variety show, she was absolutely brilliant. Viva Variety was fantastic.
MTV's The State.
Just absolutely amazing.
Oh, she's incredible. I didn't even know that was his daughter until recently, and my head exploded. I was like, what? But yeah, so I didn't get a chance to work with him, but the rest of the cast has been absolutely amazing to work with, and I feel very humbled because I'm definitely one of those, I'm still up and coming, or I'm still making a career out of this comparatively, where a lot of people I'm working with now have been doing this for a long time and are people that I looked up to, you know, and inspired me as a voice actor. So it's very humbling, and I'm kind of like, do I really belong here?
Do we know, what are some of the names of some of the other principal actors who are working? Okay, are we allowed to talk about that?
Not allowed to talk about it.
So basically we're waiting until what, Comic-Con?
I don't know, but I mean, we're given the okay to talk about ourselves if we wanted to, and of course I couldn't hold it back any further. I was just like, oh my God, you know, put it on my Twitter. I had to tell my friends.
Not like you were really invested in the character.
No, not at all. That would be ridiculous. But you know, the other actors, they will announce it when they want to, at their time, when it's their prerogative.
Right,
But there's some really amazing people working on this project, and I'm really blessed and very lucky to be part of this.
Now, professionally, this is very important for you because this is another level up in terms of platform, in terms of exposure, in terms of being one of the lead characters. I mean, this is a big step up for you as a voice actor, and also as a professional. But as an experience, working with these other professionals, putting this package together, was it what you envisioned it would be?
That and more. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. Like I've done some prelay before, but it's smaller projects and you know, studios, small studios around Los Angeles. There's a lot of various studios that work goes to here and there. This we're recording at the Warner Brothers Ranch lot in Burbank, which is that's just the trip driving there every time we do a session. But then it's the same animation studio that does all the Batman and DC animated projects, and so walking through that studio and seeing all the animators working on these other cartoon shows, and the director who's working on it, which I don't think they've announced yet, so I can't say, has done a lot of work, animated direction work that I grew up and loved as well. So this is just like I'm beside myself. It's far more than I ever expected, and I expected a lot.
So basically, you're a professional. You present yourself as a professional. You work as a professional, and the geek does the happy dance in the background.
Exactly, exactly. You know, I've had days where I was talking with one of the Dan Norton, who's he's one of the main director or the main production. I don't know what his actual title is, but he's kind of like the guru of the project.
He's the guy.
The guy. He's the guy. One of them. And we were just nerding out about Thundercats, and he was showing me all this artwork and concept art and background art, and talking about storyline and future seasons and like
future seasons.
Future seasons.
Oh, future. Good. That's a very good phrase to use. Future seasons.
I'm just saying.
Plural. Very
just
good.
Saying. I think this has legs. It has legs.
Could be good.
I think so. But we nerded out about this for a long time, and I'm driving home, and I'm just like so excited. And I'm like, wait, I'm in this. You know, I have to keep reminding myself that I'm part of the project because I'm such a fanboy over it from an exterior standpoint. So,
well, Matthew, we're almost out of time, and I got to tell you, as a aged fanboy, thank you very much. It gives me something to really look forward to.
Oh, thank you.
And I wish you luck in your numerous careers as a writer, as a director, as a producer, as an actor. It's going to be fun watching you do cool stuff that I get to watch.
Yeah, here's to hoping. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming again.